So in my last video, I went on a big rant about Taros and just how I hate that legend so much. So today, we're going to counteract it. We're going to show some love and appreciation to my favorite legend in the game, which is Mordex. This character doesn't need introduction, and honestly, you guys probably aren't surprised that I picked this legend. I mean, maybe some of you are thinking like, oh, he was probably going to pick like Shang or, I don't know, Val, I guess. But I haven't really played them too much. Mordex, to me, he's a character that you always have like a fresh breath of air. Like there's always something new you can be doing with that character because of Scythe and Gauntlets on him. It allows for just so much creative stuff to be done, and it almost feels like every time you see someone play this legend, there's something new that you're able to do, especially with Scythe. I mean, when Scythe came out, that was insane. Just being able to do basically two moves on one. Two moves for one. Like you have two options on one move, and that was something I was like really broken at the time. And, you know, I'd argue still is really good. It's one of the reasons why Scythe is as good as it is, because you have those options. I mean, if Scythe didn't have like all the options you could do, then I think it would be definitely a way less interesting weapon. But it's just one of those. I think it's possibly the best designed weapon in the game. I really think that. I mean, Greatsword's up there. Now, Greatsword gets a lot of hate, but as far as like design actually goes, it is by far probably the most intricate thing Brawlhalla's ever put in, and then probably next to Scythe. But yeah, he's just like the flow of the SIGs. I mean, I made him in my best legend for every weapon. He was the best Scythe, and I think for good reason. I don't think there's any legend right now who's really close to him when it comes to SIGs. I think you can make the argument Volkov, but you look at the stats of Volkov compared to this guy, and it's not even close. Mordex has 4 base decks, and arguably you could go down to 3. Personally, I can tell the difference on Scythe. Now, on Gauntlets, I think it absolutely is a bunch of malarkey. You do not need decks on Gauntlets whatsoever. But on Scythe, if you do miss, and Scythe is a weapon that I think being able to like kind of bait stuff out, just, you know, throwing out aerials is a really big part of the play. So if you're not able to really like miss, if you have that 3 decks, you miss, next thing you know, you're going to get punished. I'm going to elaborate on one of the points earlier that I mentioned, which was that what's nice about Mordex is that there always feels like there's something you can learn pretty much with the character, right? Like with Scythe and Gauntlets, they're more intricate, so you're able to spend a lot of time figuring stuff out and just kind of innovating the character, because even when you think there's something, you know, everything's been figured out, you're almost bound to find something new. Now, it may not be the most optimal thing, but I think this character, this type of character who has, you know, Scythe and Gauntlets on him, makes him one of the easiest, at least for me, to just practice with and mess around in training room, because there is just so many options you can do, you know, between like adding the SIGs into like light attacks, you know, just like weapon throw combos, you know, oh, what am I going to do off this dodge, that dodge? Yeah, it's really fun, and I do not know. Did I touch? It doesn't even matter. I'm like so far in the ground. But yeah, it's he's really nice because of that. I really enjoy actually just like sitting in training room now and messing around with the legend, because like I said, I mean, oh wait, hold up. I think I got him. Yeah, I got him. Because there is just so many things you can practice and you can come up with. I will say though, playing this character in 2s can be so discouraging sometimes. Now, I don't have any plans on playing Mordex in 2s, but I will say that he is, he really is just like super discouraging in 2s, because you go up against that double hammer, man, it stinks. To finish that thought though, yeah, like you go up against a double hammer, like a double axe, it can be pretty discouraging, because it's like, man, why am I like trying it 2 times as hard to play Scythe? And I think that's why I've started to really develop a hate for, like, I guess you could say quote unquote simpler weapons, but at the end of the day, I do it to myself. But this character in 1s I think is fantastic, especially right now. Gauntlets are still in a really good spot. Scythe, I guess, yeah, Scythe did get a buff relatively recently. I don't think it did. It wasn't in the last patch. It was in the patch beforehand, and it's looking pretty good. I mean, Scythe off stage, Scythe and Gauntlets off stage, that pairing is so nasty. I mean, if you are someone who loves playing off stage, then I think Mordex is like just the character to play for you. Unless maybe, you know, I think honestly like Fate's pretty good too, but pretty much anyone with this Scythe, like there's potential to kill in like 3 moves. So That's obviously like a really big benefit of playing this character. What's he gonna do? Dodge up? I mean, he has to. Let's see. A Sig or side air? Well, there was a side air, but I thought he was gonna peek earlier. I think the one thing though I need to be careful of, because I feel like I've gotten really good with my gimps and stuff. I say really good. There's so much I can improve on with it, but it's just like catching people's landings, I think, and sometimes not making a stupid commitment, because that's probably the biggest enemy of a Scythe player, is taking a commitment that is just not worth it, and then you end up dying. Or it's that, or probably like messing up a gimp off stage and then you end up dying, or you don't live where you could, like when you kill them. I think those two things are so important, and I've gotten all right with both of them, I think. It's just like, I don't know, it just feels so good once you like start playing well with Mordex, I will say, or just any Scythe character. I think those legends that have like Scythe, Orb, Gauntlets, those are the ones that you experience like the biggest momentum shifts with, right? You get that one big play, next thing you know, your opponent's freaking out, they don't know what to do, and you're hitting every move in the book, and it's just really nice. And this guy is going hard on me right now, but he still made that mistake. All right, what are you doing? Okay, he kind of had to dodge there. Oh, and let's not do that. Yeah, just something like that. Like, even though I didn't get punished for it, it's not even worth doing an unnecessary commitment like that. It's just, like I said, it's just asking for trouble. What's he gonna do though? Dodge off stage. He wants me dead, and he's been using the Sensig the whole game. I didn't get it. I was really hoping I could land it. Oh, we got him. Where's he at? Where is he? I want him still. I want him. Oh my gosh, that was actually nasty. Honestly, that last play just kind of like proved my point. Actions speak way louder than words, and Mordex is a character that you have the ability to do that with, to just take someone off stage and pretty much ruin their day if they're in a bad mood. But yeah, just so fun. I mean, I guess you don't need to have Mordex for it, but to me, it's like he has two weapons that have that capability, man. Like, it does not get much better than that. Also, by the way, guys, I got a 360 Hz monitor, so I've joined that club alongside some others in the Brawl community. And I gotta say, I mean, I've been looking at just getting like a better monitor, and I think it was worth it. Obviously, now I expect it, especially since Pro Series was announced. It's essentially paid for, which is nice. It's not a cheap investment whatsoever. But I think as far as, you know, the advantage I guess it can give you with competing, and plus just the quality of the monitor. If you are looking for a good monitor, maybe wait for the price to go down, but it still is really, really solid. And I've been, you know, it's only day one, but I can definitely say I feels like my setup has improved dramatically just having a 360, because before I had a 240 hertz, and then my secondary was it was a 144, but it had an HDMI connection, so it was on 60 hertz instead, which kind of felt like, I don't know, like now it's weird to think that I have a 360 hertz and a 240 hertz. Like if I went back, it would be really, really weird. But yeah, now my like setup feels like so nice, and it's just one of those things like where if you can afford it, then go for it. But at the same time, you know, 240, man, 240 is still like top of the food chain. It's still really, really good, I think. You just can't get like, if you're trying to compete in Brawl, don't empty your pockets for 360 hertz. It's just not worth it. I mean, unless you're looking for the slightest advantage ever. But I'm just gonna say this: if you're not placing like top 8 on a 144 hertz, I don't think it's gonna matter. If you're, you know, I should say top 16, because top 16 is now getting paid out in Brawl, which is really good, by the way. That's so necessary now. I mean, thousands of people are entering in Brawlhalla tournaments, so yeah, that's so big, man. That really, really is. And it makes me happy, because it's like only more people are gonna join in on it. I mean, we've seen what recently, like the Buzz has started playing Brawlhalla. We'll see though if like the Buzz and other Smash players, you know, people from other games, if they're actually like serious about competing. It's always good to just check it out. I mean, I've always like thought about, and I've messed around with like Smash and stuff. I just never have gotten really into it because it's on a controller, and that's why I'm personally excited for like the Riot Fighter, even though it's not like a platform fighter. Just the fact that it's being made on keyboard is so nice because most fighting games feel like they're not made for keyboard. That's like the reason why I picked up Brawlhalla in the first place, because I didn't have to deal with some sort of controller. So it's gonna be interesting. I mean, Brawlhalla is only going up, and I'm definitely grateful to be along for the ride for sure. And also, thanks for, I mean, well, I guess by the time this video comes out, I don't think I'll be at 50K, but I really appreciate the support. It's definitely been picking back up. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure by the end of the week, probably, I can see me hitting that 50K goal. So halfway to 100K, practically. That's honestly pretty crazy. And you know, now that I'm back in the schedule and stuff, every video I do, I just have a blast with. I wasn't burnt out or anything when I was doing like daily. It's just, it's a lot, I don't know, it's a lot better now with like an actual set schedule. I just need to like make sure I stick to a streaming one too. So if you guys want to catch those streams, you know, especially when I do have a more solid schedule, make sure you check out twitch.tv/Phazon. I always put it in the description, so if you don't know how to spell it or whatever, just check that out. It'll be down there. But let's wrap this up. We need to roll this guy. We need to hit a play or two. There's that. Yep, dead off the sidelight into the recovery. It's so easy on Gauntlets to read that most of the time. It really is. That's like the biggest thing. Also, this matchup, absolute classic matchup. I think this is one of the like it's literally a lore matchup too, which is pretty funny because you have Boomy Sandstorm. Boomy being like the dedicated Diana player, the Diana player. You got Sandstorm, who's like the Mordex player. They ended up teaming, but also in the lore of the game, which I'm not a huge lore guy, but it's one of those things where it's like, that's interesting. It really is. But all right, this guy, dude, this guy's been giving it to me. I gotta admit, he's kind of nice on it. I won't lie. Dodge down. All right, I guess we'll settle with that. What's he gonna do? I just have a feeling something absolutely corny is gonna happen. Dodge in. No, dodge in. We got that though. Nice little read to end it on. As always though, guys, I really appreciate you watching, and if you want to help make it to 50K, if you aren't subscribed yet, make sure you sub, you like, you comment, all that stuff. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Peace, everyone.